Bam! Yep. That's what it looks like in here. I've been in here little by little, tearing it all down, getting it ready for the next setup. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm moving really slow with this. I'm still trying to hammer out the new system and get it perfectly. I'll reiterate once again that this entire room is on one 15 amp circuit breaker. So my ability to do fancy things and really cool stuff in here is quite limited due to that shortage of you know, electricity. So and I rent this house, so it's not like I can do anything super major in here. But it is looking all clean, so I got wet towels all over the place here, just wiping down everything, making sure there's nothing living in here, getting ready for the next grow. But this room is just bare bones right now. I haven't really been doing anything. It's the middle of August right now, guys. It's been hot as hell a couple of days, 105 plus, and it's really tricky to do hydro in those temperatures unless you've got, you know, a badass chiller and an air conditioner set up and all of that, which I'm looking into. But as for right now, just trying to brainstorm to see what we're gonna do in here next. So as you can see, we got nothing going but just clean up, so I guess I'll brainstorm with you guys about what I've been thinking about doing. So 15 amps, what can you do with 15 amps inside this room? So you look up here, you see I've got these two lights, 600 watt ballast back there, and I ran the entire last grow at 50%. So it was 300 watts HPS here, 300 watts HPS there. And it produced, it's just the buds were really small, and it took a long time. It took a long time. So I think we ran it almost about 3.5 months. So you know, you can still do it. It's possible. It's just going to take you a lot longer. So here we go with some ideas. I'm thinking about taking both of these lights out of here and just running one hood at 600 watts full blast. So not going to be able to grow as much, but we should get some better quality out of that. So I think that's probably the first part of this equation, is getting both of these lights down to one, so we're able to run it at 600 watts full blast. And then I'm thinking about doing another hydro system in here, and I'm trying to gear it towards being a perpetual system. And if there's anybody out there that does hydro on a perpetual basis, you realize that you have to have separate reservoirs, because while one plant is in the middle of it, you know, you have another plant that's in flush with two completely different reservoirs. So, and thus you have to chill them both. And the commercial chillers that I see out there are kind of like, well, you plug it in and then you pump water into it, and then water comes out a little colder. And that's all well and fine if you have just one reservoir. And what if you were a hydro guy that wanted to do a perpetual system and have multiple reservoirs? So I don't think it's realistic for anybody to go out there and, you know, spend thousands of dollars on multiple chillers. And like I said, I don't even have the electrical real estate in here to support that anyway. So we're looking into ways. I've got a couple of ideas. Gone online, talked to people, asked some questions about how to get a little more out of a single chiller and how to chill multiple reservoirs at the same time off a single chiller. So let me go over some of the problems I had with the last system that was in here. The buckets themselves, which was something very similar to this 18-gallon tote right there, they're not 100% light tight. The plastic on them is really thick, and you might even be able to stick your head in there outside and feel like it's pretty dark, but they actually are not light tight. And my reservoir bucket right here was probably the worst violator. That thing was, you know, just a normal trash can that I had picked up at the Container Store or something, also not light tight. So the buckets have to be light tight. No, absolutely no light can be getting into your reservoir solution, or else algae is going to grow. And even worse, the temperature is going to grow up. Excuse me, the temperature is going to go up, and then algae is going to grow. So temperature. So these pipes right here, they have to be insulated. I didn't do any of that on the last go around. And they were, you know, directly under the lights, and you know, my air pump was directly under the lights, pumping in essentially hot air into the res. So that played a part in the temperatures kind of cooking up a little bit. It didn't get, you know, nothing bad happened, but you know, I'm thinking that these are things that we can do to make it even better. So and same thing with my inline mag drive pump that was pumping the water that was right there. That thing got really hot, and then having it be right there in the middle of the system and then under the lights getting all heated up didn't didn't exactly help the equation either. Here's something I noticed about this room after it was all built. If you're going to run central air conditioning, so you see there's the air conditioning vent in my floor. If you're going to run central air conditioning in your house and just say, you know, okay, my house is going to be at 70 degrees all the time, and just set your thermostat, that's all well and fine, but you got to realize, if my cold air is coming in right here, and I've got, you know, all this room full of growing going on, and my cold air is coming in through right here, and then right here is my exhaust, then essentially I'm just taking the cold air and exhausting it straight up, and it doesn't really have a chance to cool the room. So I guess somewhere over here, or maybe even up in the ceiling, would be a better spot to put the cold air vents. Or maybe I'll just move, obviously can't move the vent, maybe I'll just move the exhaust system to be pulling from more over on this side of the room. This space right over here is a window, and this Urban Farmer logo is covering off that window, and then it's just outside obviously, and then the ballast being right there, getting heated up by the daytime. I don't know, maybe that had something to do with the temperatures in the room being a little hot, even though I did run the lights on at about starting, I think it was like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So pretty much the sun was down, and when the grow room was on, it was the dead of night and I was asleep, because it gets so dang hot out during the day. But I did put the ballast over there because I knew they were going to make heat, and I wanted the filter right there to exhaust as much of the heat out of the room as possible. So maybe I will consider putting the ballast elsewhere in the room. I've even considered putting them outside the room and running the cords in. So I guess what that means is drilling little holes in the ceiling and then dropping the cords down through the ceiling, and then keeping the ballast in the attic and all the heat that goes with them. I know a lot of you saw the scrognet over here. It was kind of a pain in the ass to have my control reservoir underneath the scrognet, so I couldn't exactly get in there with the most ease to do reservoir changes or add newts or just look in there or whatever I wanted to do. So as you can tell, I learned a ton this grow. This was my first ever hydroponics grow. I'd never tried this before. I've really never even tried growing before. I've done a couple other, I wouldn't even call them real serious grows. I mean, I literally found some seeds and some bud and put them in some solo cups and then just transplanted them, and they got bigger and bigger. Didn't have any equipment, didn't know what the heck I was doing with feeding or pH or anything like that. So just sort of entertainment grows where the product wasn't really coming into consideration. So this was my first serious grow, and I learned a ton. Ran into a lot of problems, had a lot of success. And to be honest with you guys, right now I'm tired. This is a buttload of work. I'm not saying I'm giving up, but it's been a little while since I posted a video, and my apologies for that. All the subscribers that watch these videos, my apologies to you. But I'm tired, and it's hot as hell out in the middle of August, and I'm debating sort of swearing it off for August because it's so damn hot in here. But anyways, it's a pain cleaning all this and getting everything broken down and out of here, but that's what I'm doing. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I realized it's been like 2 weeks since I threw up a video for you guys. So Let's take you into another room and I'll show you. I think I have some stuff cleaning. I'll explain what that's about. Alright, so here I got a bucket filled with about, I don't know, 8 or 9 parts water and 1 part H2O2. You got my mag drive pump in there, all the uni seals I used, and the air stones. I did have the pump in there running for about 2 days, and this is about the 4th day they've been soaking in there. So this is how I'm cleaning everything. Just letting it give a big soak, especially for the air stones, to allow the water to penetrate into all the porous spots of the stone. Make sure there's nothing living in there, or any gunk, or anything that's just going to hurt your grow in the future. I wanted to save all this stuff because, me personally, it gets kind of pricey just replacing all of it. So, I just put some H2O2 in there and let it soak for a few days. That's what we got going in there. So we'll be able to reuse this stuff. Alright, so just wanted to show you guys that. You can see over here I had a little experiment, but it didn't work. The experiment was trying to clone and place directly into hydroton with you know, a bucket full of mild solution, but it did not work. So, oh well, you live, you learn. Anyways, that's the update for today. You saw the room, not a lot happening. I just wanted to come on here and not leave you guys hanging so much anymore. So, hang with me while I get this all figured out. We'll get a new setup going in the flower room. I'll get everything constructed and thought out, and hopefully it'll be worth it. So until then, thanks for tuning in. This is your Urban Farmer. Till next time.